Hello there people, and welcome to this review and comparison of a figure that I have been very excited about ever since I heard they were going to release it, or I guess even ever since it was revealed or quite obvious that Sentinel Prime was ostensibly going to be remolded into an Astrotrain. And here we have the 2016 Voyager Titan Master, Titans Return Titan Master Astrotrain, compared with the good old 2006 Classics. And this is a deluxe figure Astrotrain, the last official Transfomers Astrotrain that we got. 10 years apart it took to get finally a deluxe upgrade to a Voyager-sized Astrotrain, which I've always wanted. It's been on my wish list for a long time, so I'm just so glad that Hasbro finally gave us one. Of course, there's third-party offerings, but I never was that interested in getting one of those. I've got other third-party stuff, but somehow the Astrotrains really haven't grabbed me. So, finally we got an Astrotrain. He's not like the original in the sense that he is a Titan Master or Headmaster. Obviously, Astrotrain was never a Titan Master in the original G1. But I just always wanted an Astrotrain. He was the first on the scene as a triple changer. So for me and many of my friends who remember G1, he holds a special place, more so than the other two Decepticon triple changers and the three Autobot triple changers. So here we have it as a side-by-side. I quite like this shuttle mode. It's slick. Certainly seems to be the better of the two modes in my opinion. At least on the top it really is quite smooth. At the very bottom it's smooth as well, but of course it's got that obvious arm kibble. I don't really care much about the gimmick of that Titan Master sitting on the gun there. I'd much rather them give us two good guns or one really good gun, as they did for the Classics figure, which much more is reminiscent of his G1 weapon. I'm just a G1 nostalgic person. I know that's what I prefer. Anyway, that's the shuttle mode, and that's the Classics shuttle. Different, that's obviously a more modern style. That one is trying to be a lot more like the NASA shuttle, I think, but it's not quite as well, especially with the kibble on the side there. I think overall this one probably pulls off a lot more of a real world appearance. Certainly I think for the Classics figure this is the much stronger mode, and yet I still like the slickness of this, even though it is just not real world. Hard to pick, I think I don't mind this. I think overall, as a robot in disguise, that just looks more real. Okay, so transforming this fella, I'll get rid of the gun from the wing there and put it aside, of course. Right, so how do we do it? I'm going to go to train mode first. So first thing is to split the legs, and just remember to untab. This tabs in for the shuttle, as it does on the top as well. So don't forget that untabs later. You want to disconnect the arm from the wing, and you can see it tabs in from that tab there into the arm, and then fold the wing up to get it out of the way on that assembly. Right, connect it just on that, and that's a little bit fragile actually. I wonder how easily that may be a problem later on. So untab these flaps on both the front and the back, or top and bottom of the shuttle I should say, and then what you can do is open these hinges, and this flips up into the train mode, and you can close these back. And interestingly, the front and the back of the train looks identical in this iteration of Astrotrain. Fold this landing gear back in, and up on the chest of the figure you can fold these landing gears back in, which is functional for the shuttle mode. Alright, now that we have the legs split, let me just lift this up slightly here so we can see a little bit more. Okay, now we have the leg split. What you want to do is put the arms out to the side, which is where they will be for the train mode. And then what you do is split the crotch of the robot. Okay, so it goes all the way, so it's doing a super extreme split to get into the train. And then as you get to the side here, you tab the arm onto the top here. Same on this side, you tab the arm onto the top of that body of the train there. And then just let those sit at the side, the flaps. Same on the other side of the train, make sure those sit flat in and tab in. So they do have little tabs just to demonstrate that. Tab there goes into that part of the body. And there we have most of the train done. Now, sorry, that's popped out. Let's put that back in. To which side is the front? Well, they've decided for you because this assembly rotates in and that faces the front. And as you fold the wings down, the wings tab in. So there, onto the body. Same with the back, that tab onto the body. And there we have it. And what I didn't demonstrate for the shuttle earlier is that you do have that Titan Master seat there. You know, if you so choose to put him in there, it sits in nicely, just like all the other Titan Master toys. If you want to keep him in there, and you probably would if you were going to display him, just so you don't misplace that Titan Master. You know, the gun you can put in different spots, but I think officially they have it on the side of the body or here. Anyway, you can choose. You know, there's many holes that you can place the 5mm port of the gun into. All right, I'm just going to put that aside and then just show the train mode. Right, same front and back with these guns. And this center assembly, which looks like some sort of central control center. What do I think about the train mode? Well, it's not real world. It's completely alien. It's like a Cybertronian train. So I think this is the weakest. It really looks like it had to try to get into this mode. No doubt it does get into it pretty good, but it had to try pretty hard. So, you know, I think this is the weakest of the modes. It's a train, barely, maybe, recognizable as a train. So, you know, I accept it, and I probably will not choose ever to display Astrotrain in this mode. So right now I'm going to transform that Classics figure and then do a side-by-side. Okay, so I've just transformed Classics Astrotrain, and you know what strikes me about that is that it took all of about 30 seconds. It's really a very streamlined transformation to go from shuttle to train on the Classics figure, and I forgot that actually, and I'm kind of pleased. But you know, what's the comparison? Well, this is Kibbley at the back, right? It's got jets. This shuttle, this train can go faster than any train ever because it's got jets. It can almost fly, really. In fact, you know, you could use this as a rocket, maybe. It stands up, maybe. Yeah, it does. It stands up. So you could use it as a rocket. But, you know, the front, at least up to there, does, you know, I can buy that as a train. A lot more so than this. So, you know, again, more real world, at least up to there. And this is just kibble at the back. I can't pick between these two, which is a better mode. I think they do different things differently. Interestingly, the Classics figure is you know, just as wide or even wider at the body there than the Voyager figure. The Voyager does have a lot more bulk in the middle, of course. That's its control center. You know, so that's your side by side for the train mode, Classics versus the Generations Titans Return. So let me know what you think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one I pick. I certainly probably be more readily wanting to display that in the train mode. Okay, now transformation again. Let me just put this camera up so that too much the background there. All right, so obviously the easy thing to do would be just to untab these first and then untab the flaps and fold them down, because you won't be needing those up for the robot mode. Right, so fold all the flaps down, both on the left and right hand sides of the train. Untap the arms, join the crotch back, because you will need your crotch to be a person, and turn that to the front of the robot, so that those are your front of the legs, those are the knees, or the shins, I suppose. Now, officially, it is the front of the shuttle that makes the leg, but you could use the train as well. So up to you which way you want to, but it's a little bit more awkward in the train, because this bit just pushes it into an angle, and it's just slightly more awkward. You can get much more of a, you know, like a angle position using the shuttle mode. So, you know, I'm gonna put that, because it'll just be that much easier to pose when you have it in the official mode. All right, so up the top here, what you want to do is obviously untab the wings and then rotate that assembly into the robot position, and then it does tab in at the back. Again, you can see that tab into that hole. Okay, so all very nice and tabby. Fold the arms down and then fold the hands out of their hollow forearms. Bane of modern figures is hollow forearms. You know, we don't have the budget of Masterpiece here to make a flap to close those forearms out. No doubt third parties will make things to fill that in eventually, probably, if the figure is popular enough, but they do have those hollow forearms. Pop a gun in if you want. I tend to only like, look at that, somewhat reflexively I put Classics gun in there, you know, and I've put the official gun, you know, the Classics gun I think really is better. I've already said that before. Okay, so that's the robot, and then grab the Titan Master and fold it up for a very, you know, what I think is a, I like this actually, I like this sculpt of this Astrotrain. It really is Astrotrain. Pop the Titan Master into the spot. And here's a nice little touch, you know, release the head assembly, which harkens back to the G1. You know, he had these, I think they were landing gears next to his head in the G1 mode, so there we have it. Now, the head can turn sideways by itself, but they've also made this assembly able to turn, you know, as a whole, which I think is a great little touch. I like what they've done with that head assembly. You know, I think overall, that head still looks, he still looks like a mini, you know, a small head guy. Like his head is disproportionately small to his massive body. Nice chunky body, but you know, I think they've tried their best to make these things come out to bolster the head without making a helmet like some of the other figures use, or mask as Galvatron uses. Okay, so that's the robot mode. Let me transform Classics figure and put it side by side now. Okay, so here is Classics Astrotrain in robot mode to stand next to Titans Return Voyager. And again, I'm surprised how quickly it took. It took me about a minute, really, to do that. Whereas this guy, you know, you can go back to the timestamp, you can see how long more he took me. Even though, yes, I'm a bit less familiar, but I haven't done this guy for a long time. Okay, so clearly this is really where the Titans Return figure really shines. I mean, I loved this figure for a long time. You know, I was you know, quite impressed when this came back, when this came out 10 years ago now, with the triple changing mode. But you can see now it compromised a lot for the modes to get those three modes: the real world looking shuttle, the kind of quasi real world looking train, at least on the front of the train. It had to compromise a lot. So, you know, I think this is what it is. This one clearly, hands down, far superior robot mode, much more G1. You know, look at that chest compared to that wings. That's not how G1 looks like, and you know, all round, just you know, the back. This one's not bad, but I think that one's still better looking from the back. If you care about how it looks at the back, that, you know, and some people do. I think that even from the back he looks better, and from the front, just all over, this is a far superior figure. Definitely will become my choice of display Astrotrain, and he's a bigger figure. Astrotrain should be bigger. I mean, we won't go into mass displacement and scale that will get me nowhere, but I think he's just a much more substantial figure, which I have been wanting for a long time. Okay, so robot mode. Articulation, I've shown you the head assembly. The wings do move back and forth if you want to articulate those wings in different ways. And the hands do articulate at the shoulder and elbow. The hips do go in and out, and front and back with ratchets. And there at the side, the thighs, legs have a bit of a heel back and forth. And the hand, the upper arm, elbow, no real wrist articulation. That's what really is the essence of it. So there you have it. I hope that's been an enjoyable look at a figure that I've been waiting for a longest time. Really going to enjoy this guy. Thank you guys for watching this far. Subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and as always, I will catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching this video on Generations Titans Return Astrotrain.